Okay, have and have not fans. I guess you could break this down as my review of the mid-season finale that occurred a few weeks ago. And to be completely honest, I'm not going to cover the entire episode in this video because, as I said before, the episode had so much going down that I had to break it up into separate theory videos. So you'll see videos I've done on, what do I think is going to happen to Melissa, my theories on what's going to happen between Jim and Catherine, the fact that she pretty much emptied out the house, plans on selling or giving it away, what's that's going to do for her and Jim's future, the fact that, Warlock came in and shot around and hit Quincy and possibly Hannah, the fact that Erica doesn't like Candace, why does she hate Candace? And again, the list goes on. I've done at least 10 videos right now that you'll find on my channel, kind of breaking down the episode into different pieces because there was so much setup for the second half of the season as opposed to, I guess you could say, you know, any loose ends being tied up, if you will. I feel like that's one of the potential problems with this show, that there aren't really any problem resolutions as there are new characters introduced, new subplots, or new just drama to be introduced into the series. And it really gets kind of old when you have new plots, pretty much where you have more plots that are unsolved piling up than plots that have been resolved. So I'm actually going to make another separate video. I guess you can call that one like slow plot, or is the haves and the have nots moving to. So it's just some along the lines. That's a working title. But again, for the episode itself, I actually enjoyed it. I mean, it's probably one I don't see myself rewatching 15 times before the next half of the season comes on. But I was, pretty satisfied with it just because it seemed a bit fast paced, more so than most episodes, I'll tell you that much. We got, a couple of questions answered, just a couple in terms of the connection between Warlock and Erica, because remember, the one time that those two interacted was when Warlock went over to Candace's house, appearing like a ghost back in that time, just reminding her of, you have X amount of hours or, X amount of days to give me my money or you're dead. And then it was revealed that Erica's sister, was, I believe, killed by Warlock because she cheated him. And it's like, yeah, Warlock saw me, but really ignored me, didn't think anything of me. But then it turns out those two are in a relationship. Then you have David and Jim reconnecting. It turns up, hey, man, I'm getting a divorce. So what hotel are you staying at? I'll come over now. Then you have, of course, the Benny and Veronica subplot in terms of, hey, I'm going to go over to her to get legal advice. She tries to seduce him. He's like, I ain't got time for this. So he leaves. I'd say my favorite, honestly, I want to be real. My favorite part of the episode was the fact that Mitch was there and he made, well, I wouldn't say made Benny. Well, he spoke for Benny because, again, the whole Benny and Hannah plot, that's gotten really old for me. Not just Hannah and Benny, but that goes for a lot of characters. It's like, if they told the flipping truth, so many of these problems would be resolved in maybe an episode or two as opposed to 2.5 seasons, because Hannah kept badgering him, was like, tell me the truth, because she knew the truth, but Benny just wouldn't say it. And if Mitch wasn't there, I'm pretty sure we would have gotten to season 8 and Benny wouldn't have said that, hey, I didn't kill Quincy, but I buried his body. That's all he had to say. Because again, there's a lot of stuff that can get resolved by people talking as opposed to people not saying anything, giving half truths, and then trying to take matters into their own hands. That goes for Hannah and Benny, because again, if Benny didn't go over to Veronica's house to tell her I had a part in Quincy's demise by burying his body, she wouldn't have that information over Benny, because again, she told Jeffrey, like, hey, at least have that information to use against him to get you off. Because again, Hannah went to Catherine's house to get an attorney, and she said, hey, Veronica, you gotta get Veronica. It's like, nope, no, I don't want Veronica. So she's going to get, I forgot the guy's name, the other attorney who always loses to Veronica, to represent Candace and Benny. Then you have Hannah going to see Warlock, which her intentions were good. But at the end of the day, her going to Warlock resulted in Warlock finding out where, Candace was hiding out, leading to the shootout that occurred. So again, it's just the fact that these people don't communicate with each other that really blows things out of proportion. Because again, Hannah told Benny, I went to see War. He is crazy. And then Hannah told Benny, is like, hey, I went to go see my boss to get, you legal help. And again, if those two would have had a conversation instead of hiding information from each other, things wouldn't have turned out the way they did. And of course, the Melissa subplot, I do feel bad for her character now in regards to, how she's been treated and all she's going through. Because again, she did all of this, getting pregnant, letting Veronica treat her like a dog just for the sake of her father getting better, her affording the medicine, and then her family's company not, getting bankrupt. And all of it was for nothing because her dad passed away because Veronica did not give him the medical help that he needed and that she promised. So I feel like that's going to be the evolution of her character in terms of, will she be damaged goods now to Veronica, or will she be even more, gung-ho to get revenge on her because of what she didn't do to save her dad? So, there's that. And of course, you have the Jeffrey Justin. One thing I did like about the episode, if you notice, like, think all the way back to the scene where it was the episode where Amanda killed herself. I believe was in the, season 2, when Candace texted Jim about meeting her on the front lawn because, hey, please forgive me, meet me out on your front lawn. And that's when he got abducted by Warlock's crew. And the fact that we could not see what was on that screen, his telephone screen, his cell phone, we couldn't see what the text message was. It was pretty much, microscopic. The only way I saw what the text message was I believe on Twitter, somebody had screenshotted it. I believe they had like TiVo or something that posted online. And then move forward, the next time text messages appeared on the screen was when Wyatt was looking through Jim's phone and then saw the messages from Celine and Candace. And then you get to Jeffrey texting Justin, and they actually make the text pretty big. And I'm just like, I guess Tyler Perry did hear the fans on that one and decided to make the screenshots big enough so everybody can see it. I believe another time the subtitles were really small were back again towards the end of season 2 when Carlos came over to the Cryer mansion and talked with Jim, and then him and Celine went back and forth in Spanish, and we can barely see the text. So again, I'm just glad that has been resolved in terms of when the characters are texting each other, we can actually see what they're saying. And honestly, again, I guess you could say the Charles Candace subplot, for the life of me, I cannot understand it. I mean, and again, I talked about this in the video I made about Charles and Candace going, I don't know. The fact that, a presidential candidate meets up with a girl in a bar and looks like a prostitute, and Charles really isn't acting like any presidential candidate I know. I mean, I'm not really into politics or anything, but I do have a bit of common sense, and I'm pretty sure the story wouldn't go that way. So I get what they're trying to do is like, oh, we're raising the stakes now. She isn't just doing, gang bangers and judges and potential governors. Oh no, she's going all the way to the freaking White House. I'm not really sold on that. So I just hope that subplot kind of fizzles out sooner than later, because honestly, I'm really not feeling it, because we've seen it before. We know Candace, we know what she does. I've even made a video talking about, Candace's potential. Is there any good in her if she can focus her energies towards being a lawyer, all that good stuff. And it's just getting old because she doesn't learn her lesson. She loses everything. She almost loses her life. She decides to, get herself into an even deeper hole than before. And then, it's just ridiculous. So I just hope that she changes her ways, especially if her son is killed, that it actually wakes her up to, man, I'm living. Either that's going to put her on the right path, like, look, I've done far too much and this is the price I pay, or she's going to say, I have nothing left to lose. So all in all, the episode was actually decent. I feel like that goes for almost all of Tyler Perry's mid-season and season finales, where things pick up, but at an abnormal rate, because it's like when you're used to watching episodes that kind of slow pace, it's like you get to the finale, it's like, wait, what happened? Wait, whoa. You're on the edge of your seat the entire time. That's not a bad thing, but again, it really goes to show that you really got to resolve at least a fraction of the plots that you introduce into the series. Like, I assume this series will be renewed for a few more seasons because, again, if you look closely, there are a lot of subplots and, foreshadowing from season 1, season 2 that haven't even been brought up again or resolved until like season 4 or season 5 or whatever season we're in right now. So with that being said, I want to bring this video to a close. What are your thoughts on the mid-season finale? I mean, I'm glad Wyatt is finally getting the help he deserves. Well, he needed. So I just hope that he used that time to recover as opposed to just, clawing at Jeffrey to stay with him and stuff. So again, this video just talks about the fact that I thought it was a decent episode. I did enjoy it for what it was. I just feel like some things are getting to the point where it's pretty unbelievable in terms of how they're driving the plot into certain characters. So I really feel like the meat of my thoughts in terms of the second half of the season, as well as my full thoughts on the episode itself, is really broken down into my theory videos. So I actually enjoy doing theory videos better than episode reviews, because episode reviews are really like, me talking about what we just saw, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, unless, I'm pointing out stuff like, oh man, I didn't notice that during the middle of the episode. I'm glad I watched this video. I prefer watching the episode like everybody else and then dissecting it into these theories and whatnot. So with that being said, always leave your comments and, let me know your thoughts on the episode. Subscribe, because I want you to be notified when I post a new video, because I do have a lot more on the way. And I guess you could say that as of right now, my final video, at least until I think it's something else, is going to be about, just the plot of the show in general. Do I think it's moving too slow? Do I think it could be better? And I kind of addressed that in this video here. So just keep your eyes out for that.